Mega Gallade is a Mega Evolution Pokemon Champions that has gotten buffed since the last time we have seen it with the Inner Focus, which does prevent Gallade from flinching, but of course does negate Intimidate from affecting Mega Gallade. It's also got a pretty good speed stat of base 110 and a really high attack stat, so why is it that we don't see Mega Gallade? Well, let's see if Mega Gallade might be underrated or if there's a reason why we don't see Mega Gallade. This team was built by the 2017 World Champion Ryota. Let's break it down. So first Pokemon up is going to be Mega Gallade, which gets access to the Justified ability, which is an ability that of course is able to increase the attack stat of the Gallade every time it is hit by a dark type move. And then when it does Mega Evolve, it does get access to Inner Focus, preventing it from being able to flinch and get affected by Intimidate. It gets a pretty big speed and attack boost, although Mega Gallade isn't exactly the bulkiest Pokemon out there. But it does have some pretty okay coverage. This time we're going to be going with Drain Punch for recovery because we want the Gallade to be able to stick around on the field so it can get multiple boosted attacks off. Rock Slide because it's really good into, of course, Charizard Y, which is a pretty important Pokemon, but of course a spread move is very helpful. And then Shao-Sync, which is going to be priority, but also help out into Pokemon like the Basculegion, Gengar, and other ghost types out there, and then Protect to keep itself around. The EV spread, pretty simple. We're just going with max speed and max attack. You want max speed because you want the Gallade to be faster than a lot of Pokemon in the format, and then you want max attack because even though Gallade is going to get boosted with Justified, it's still not like the strongest even after a few beat up boosts, and it's pretty hard to set up the beat up in some situations, so you want to be able to dish out as much damage as you possibly can. Next Pokemon we have is going to be a secondary Mega, the Mega Raichu Y, with the Lightning Rod, which is able to draw away electric type moves, which can be really nice, especially and boost the special attack stat of the Raichu by one stage when there's an electric move used, and very important against like our Chaladon, very nice to protect the Milotic, and gives it a different mode to the team where you have some more offensive pressure with the Zap Cannon that can be fired off immediately. So you can actually use this Raichu, you can Mega Evolve the Raichu, go for Zap Cannons, and then try to set up for when the opponent's paralyzed to try to set up the Gallade as well and not Mega Evolve the Gallade. So that is a mode that you do have access to with this team. You have Zap Cannon, of course, which can parry your opponent, Focus Blast, which is going to be able to dish out some pretty strong fighting coverage, Fake Out, and Feint. Feint being able to help around Protects, which can be useful. And when Mega Raichu does Mega Evolve, it does get access to the No Guard, which prevents the Raichu from being able to miss, which means the Zap Cannon and Focus Blast, which are normally inaccurate moves, able to always hit. EV spread wise, we do have access to a lot of HP and bulk, and this is because you want to be able to survive things like Life Orb Sucker Punch from King Gambit, some Earthquakes from Garchomp, and more. And then the speed is able to outspeed the base 120s, think of Frostlass and Sneaslers. So the next Pokemon we have is going to be the Chople Berry Mousel to help out with super effective fighting coverage, and then the Friend Guard, which is able to reduce the damage that allies do take with Super Fang, Follow Me, Beat Up, and Protect. Super Fang able to chip away your opponent, Follow Me for the redirection, Beat Up, which is supposed to be able to enable, of course, the Justified on the Gallade, and Protect to keep itself around. EV spread wise, we're just going with max HP and max speed with a Timid Nature because you want the Super Fang to go off before any of your Pokemon go for an attack, especially the Gallade, because you can go for like Super Fang into Rock Slide or Drain Punch, which is pretty impactful. And then the rest are just going to defenses. So it's pretty standard Mousehold. Pretty interesting to see Chople Berry over Focus Sash since the team doesn't actually have a Focus Sash user, but Chople Berry still pretty nice, and Mousehold is going to be able to survive some attacks. So the next Pokemon we have is going to be a standard Leftovers Milotic with the competitive ability, which is able to boost the Milotic special attack by 2 stages every time it gets affected by an opponent's stat drop. And it is able to just stick around with the Coil set with Hypnosis and Recover. So the idea of this Milotic, use Coil to be able to boost your attack, defense, and accuracy by 1 stage every time. That allows Milotic to stick around with its lower defense stat, and Hypnosis, which becomes more accurate because of the Coil, normally inaccurate, able to put your opponent to sleep and buy some turns. Recover, able to help stick around, get some recovery, and then Muddy Water, which is a nice spread move, which can hurt really hard, and of course takes advantage of the Coil accuracy boost. The EV spread on this Milotic is pretty interesting. We have a lot of speed in order to speed creep the modest max speed Pelipper's, and you do have access to being able to outspeed stuff after the Raichu Zap Cannon on a lot of Choice Scarf mons. Then you have a good amount of HP in defense. You have a good amount of HP, which is an odd number for Super Fang, but also to get the maximum amount of Leftovers recovery that Milotic does have access to. Then the physical defense investment, because you do want Milotic to take the Physical attacks, especially even without a coil boost, is pretty important. And then a little bit of special attacks, so the Muddy Waters are actually able to hurt and do a decent amount, while the Calm Nature boosting the highest stat, which is going to be the special defense, because Milotic has an amazing special defense, and you want to be able to get that 10% boost from nature. Next Pokemon we have is going to be the Life Orb Goldengo with the Good as Gold ability, which is able to prevent the Goldengo from getting affected by status moves with Make It Rain, Shadow Ball, and Nasty Plot Protect. Pretty standard, super strong Goldengo. Make It Rain, that incredible spread move. Shadow Ball, which is able to get some really strong damage, being the Ghost type attack. Nasty Plot to get a +2 special attack boost and allow Goldengo to be able to sweep some teams. EV spread wise on this Goldengo, it is a pretty fast Goldengo. It speed creeps like some of the stuff that is able to outspeed Mega Aerodactyl under Tailwind. So think of stuff like our Chaladons, think of some Venusaurs that are mega out there. There are quite a few Pokemon beneath that as well that can outspeed stuff like the Sylveons, the King Gambits. All of those Pokemon you are able to outspeed. You have a good amount of special attack that is able to just fire off a lot of power with that Life Orb, so you can go for initial damage with the Make It Rain or Shadow Ball just with power without a boost, and then when you do get a boost, +2 Shadow Ball will be able to KO stuff like our Chaladon, for example. Then the rest is just going to go into like some bulk as well as physical defense to be able to live like Sucker Punch from the Gambits. Final Pokemon on this team is going to be the Y-Lens Weavile. That Y-Lens to help the Triple Axle become more accurate, because Triple Axle actually checks accuracy in between hits, so that's actually really impactful. With the knockoff for the Dark type coverage, which is able to remove items. Fake Out, of course, good support. And then Low Kick, which is able to hit King Gambit and quite a few other Pokemon out there. That pressure ability, because you don't need the pickpocket, because Weavile is going to be keeping its item, so it can actually be able to, I guess, remove power points, which can be impactful on some of the stronger attacks. But yeah, then just simply just max attack, max speed, dish out as much damage as possible with the Weavile, try to outspeed stuff like the Sneasler, and hit them with a Triple Axle knockoff. Really good support. That's great offensively. Outspeeds quite a few Pokemon in the format, like the Garchomps and multiple others, and able to fire back some pretty heavy damage. So how to use the team? Well, you have a few different modes. Of course, there is a few different kinds of setup with this team. Milotic, if you need to slow down the pacing in order to try and set up whether Gallade or Goldengo in a good spot. With the Coil Hypnosis Sat, of course, just allowing the Milotic to be able to stack up coils, make it really hard to be able to remove, and then spam accurate hypnosises so that you can buy turns for Gallade and Goldengo to either set up with Nasty Plot with Goldengo or just dish out a bunch of damage in general. You also have the Goldengo that can just set up with the Nasty Plot and really be able to do a ton of damage into a lot of teams with the multiple Fake Out supports as well as the redirection from Maushold. And then, of course, you have the Mega Gallade that does have access to the Justified ability. So when you have the Maushold next to the Gallade, you can go for the Beat Up into Gallade. Beat Up is a multi-hit move that is a Dark type attack. And of course, Justified is an ability where if the Gallade is hit by a Dark type move, it gets an attack boost for each time it gets hit by a Dark type attack. So with a multi-hit like Beat Up, you can go for it into Gallade. It's not really that powerful at all. And then Gallade will be able to get multiple attack boost depending on how many Pokemon are remaining on your side of the field. So it can be really impactful and allow Gallade to become an actually excellent sweeper. And the Friend Guard, of course, with Maushold is allowing the Gallade to be able to take the attacks better thanks to reducing the damage that Gallade does take. So you do want to support with the Weavile, and of course you can even bring Raichu and Gallade. You do have a Mega Raichu option, which is still pretty powerful with the Zap Cannon mode, but you do have access to, of course, Lightning Rod, and double Fake Out support can be really nice with Goldengo or a boosted Gallade. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below, but let us try out Mega Gallade and see how well it can perform. All right, we have Raichu, Sinistcha, Hydreigon, Aromatisse, Volcarona, and Blastoise. Is this Draft League? Okay, what the heck am I dealing with here? Okay, so the Raichu is actually kind of problematic because I don't have the best ways to really punish the Raichu, but let's see, what am I doing here? It probably is Mega on both of these. If I can find a way to get Gallade in with the boost, it'd be really nice. I'm just trying to figure out, is there anything that can let me set up that safely? I honestly do want to try out Raichu Maushold. I think Raichu Maushold is a crazy lead, but it might work here. because I don't think I need Golden Go in this matchup. I think Gallade and Weavile make a lot of sense. My low deck doesn't really do much here. It kind of just resists Blastoise, but it can't really do much back. Golden Go is tempting because it's good into Sinistra, but I also have Weavile that can threaten Sinistra as well as Hydreigon. And Golden Go just doesn't really outspeed, and it can't really like... It doesn't really do, I think, enough here because I need to get a plot up and then Shadow Ball for KOs, and that takes a while against this kind of team. And I just feel like with everything that pretty much outspeeds it, barring the Aromatisse, but I'm not considering the Aromatisse too much of a threat in this matchup. I don't think it should be brought, but we'll find out, I suppose. Like, this is just a crazy team. So, what are we seeing lead-wise here from my opponents? Sinistra, Blastoise, okay. So I do have access to Fake Out plus Super Fang, which is tempting. Are you going to protect turn 1? I really just want to click Fake Out Super Fang turn 1. I think I'm going to go for Fake Out Super Fang turn 1. This could be double protect as well. I think this should be double protect. You know what? I'm going to do the Gallade and I'm going to go for the beta plan. Let's see if this is double protect. Because I feel like you have to fear Fake Out into like Population Bomb. I feel like there's quite a bit you should be scared of. I don't know if you would set up Shell Smash immediately. They Mega Evolve Blastoise, but you're always going to Mega Evolve the Blastoise. The question is, what did you go for? Did you go for Shell Smash immediately or not? This is a good question because it's going to determine a lot of the fate of the game. Okay, they did protect, which is really good. So I don't think they protect Rage Powder. I think it's like super unlikely here. Double protect is super ideal. Nope, but this is still fine. This still works out because I get the boosted Gallade. Okay. That's massive. What did Sinistra do? Matcha? Or did it Trick Room? Maybe it's Trick Room. Okay, it is Trick Room. So it's not Shell Smash. Interesting. I do have like double Fake Outs, which is nice. I kind of want to see what the Sinistra is going to try to click here. I don't think I'll really need Raichu that much anymore. It was mainly just supposed to be a Bluffmon here. I think I'm supposed to protect Gallade here to scout for what they're clicking. Mousehold? I think I'm going to attempt a Super Fang. Because if I get a Super Fang, that's really good. But I don't know if they're going to go for Matcha Spout or not. Let's see. They did go for Matcha Spout. Okay. I could go for Shadow Sneak in future turns then. Then again, the Sinistra might not just have Protect. That's a bad crit. I might have lived Water Spout. Would I have lived Water Spout? I think it kind of depends. I think there was a chance, but Mousehold goes down. I mean, that's fine. I could go Raichu and click Feint Drain Punch. Which I'm kind of tempted to do. You know what? I kind of already am in a rough spot. I think I might as well just rip a chance that I have access to. So you know what? We're going to go for Feint Drain Punch. It's already looking a little bit dire. Sure, I could go for Fake Out Shadow Sneak, but I don't think +4 Shadow Sneak even KO Sinistra. That's just how bulky Sinistra is. Okay, they switch out Blastoise, which makes sense too. Volcarona's not a great Pokemon here, because if I get Flame Body, there's like a high chance I get burned because of Matcha Gotcha in the burn, so good play on their part. If I dodge a burn though, I think this game is very runnable, but let's see. We did go for a feint. We can't get burned because this isn't contact. That's a good dodge. Okay, that kind of mediocre. Okay, how much does Drain Punch do? It's +4 to Volk. That's good damage. Okay. Get a lot of recovery too. No Flame Body is really lucky. Also leftovers. Okay. He turns a Trick Room. We don't want to bring in the Blastoise in safely. I think I just go for a Protect with the Gallade and I go for a Zap Cannon. I think I could get the win here if I'm able to set up Weavile next to the Gallade outside of Trick Room. So I think that's what we try to go for. And I think to do that, I gotta make sure I don't lose Gallade here. So I think I'm gonna Zap Cannon to Sinistra for a bit of chip, as well as a Parachance, which actually could come into play. I want to keep Volcarona around because it's not doing that much right now. That's actually perfect. That's actually perfect, okay. What did they go for, Quiver? If they went for Quiver, I can Rock Slide the next turn, which is good. Okay, Heat Wave, that's fine. Sure. As I go for a Zap Cannon. And now we have a Parachance on Sinistra. I would ideally want Raichu to go down here to the Volcarona. The Volcarona seems like it's just full on support here. Does Heat Wave knock out my right? Does Heat Wave knock out my Weavile? I mean, I think my best play is just to click Rock Slide and Faint. Or should I just stick to the plan? I feel like sticking to the plan is probably better, actually. You know what? I'm going to go for a Shadow Sneak so I can potentially avoid a burn on the slot. And I'm going to go for a Zap Cannon into the Sinistra. I'm going to double up the Sinistra because I feel like getting rid of Sinistra is probably more ideal. If I can. Shadow Sneak. Ooh, Sinistra barely hangs on, but that's okay. Citrus. Do I lose my Raichu here? I would ideally want to lose the Raichu here. Stop missing my Raichu! I actually want you to hit the Raichu! I need you to KO the Raichu! They finally got the burn. Okay, fair. Heat Wave. Gallade dodges this time. What is this game, man? I missed Zap Cannon, but like that one's fair. What the heck is going on in this game? All right. So I need to Shadow Sneak to KO to Sinistra, which is awkward here. Oh, but they might Rage Powder here, so I think my best play is to Rock Slide. I also have the Flinch chance on the Sinistra as well, and I go for a Zap Cannon into Sinistra as well. Yes. What a strange position. Sinistra retreats, okay. Ooh, they bring out their own Raichu. Interesting that they brought Raichu back. Protect is really good for me, actually, because I got the Rock Slide off in the Raichu, and now I'm threatening, like, huge Rock Slide damage into the Raichu. I assume there's 2 shots at +4. Yes. So now I feel actually good about this spot, because Gallade outspeeds the Raichu. We can't flinch thanks to Inner Focus, and then Rock Slide gets a double KO here, right? They can't Mega Evolve either. Yes, although it could be a speed tie, I suppose, but they're not electric moving my Gallade here. So I'm going to Rock Slide. I'm actually going to switch out to Weavile because I want Weavile to be... The reason I want Weavile in is because I can threaten the KO into Sinistra with knockoff and then get a Drain Punch off into the Blastoise. Because I want a position for a knockout in the future turns. Because I think they literally cannot click an electric move here. You can't click Fake Out into the Gallade, so Raichu's just basically useless at this point. I wonder what they're going to click here. Focus Blast? I guess you could Focus Blast Speed Tie for these. You could go for Focus Blast Speed Tie, but even if you do that, that's okay. It's not great, but I think it's okay. It might come down to me hitting a Zap Cannon then. In the end game, we bring out Weavile because we want to outspeed our Gallade to threaten the Sinistra KO in the future turns. They fake out what was my Raichu, which is fine. I do land both Rock Slides, which does KO the Volcarona, does KO the Raichu. So Raichu's gone, Volcarona gone. It's just down to a Sinistra as well as the Blastoise. I should be good here, I'd assume, because knockoff should KO the Sinistra because... We revealed Citrus earlier, right? I'm pretty sure we revealed... Yeah, we revealed Citrus earlier because it was at 1%. So knockoff should KO Sinistra with ease. Even if we don't have an item, because it's like, what, 34, 35%? Yeah. So I go for a Drain Punch into the Blastoise and I go for knockoff. I guess they could fake out with Blastoise, but even if they fake out with Blastoise, like you have to fake out my Weavile. I get a big Drain Punch off in the Blastoise, which is going to do a decent chunk of damage. Then the Water Spout's just weakened, and with the Drain Punch recovery, you can't KO the Gallade. So I think this is fine regardless. Because I'm pretty sure the Sinistcha is in range of Shadow Sneak. My +4 Shadow Sneak before the burn did... How much was it? Like 40%? It did like 80, right? Or I think it was like above 80%. But I don't remember the exact number. Might have been 79, but I should KO. Actually, it could be close. Okay, Sinistcha, I think went for Rage Powder. So I go for knockoff. I KO the Sinistcha. Because we know it doesn't have Protect, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure we saw its entire moveset. Drain Punch gonna come out. And if it did go for Protect, it's still fine regardless. Because the Blastoise, as you see, took so much damage here. Yeah, they go for Spout, but like this does nowhere near enough. Yep. And now we can just go for a Drain Punch plus a knockoff very safely here, and that will win the game. So, actually got a Mega Gallade sweep going on against this team. Was expecting more Shell Smash, but I think Trick Room kind of made things a little bit easier. They did make things a bit easier. Alolan Ninetales, Raichu, Hydreigon, Meowscarada, Milotic, and Ceruledge. Huh, alright. I'm fascinated here. Gallade should be pretty good against this team. Yeah, the coverage that Gallade has is pretty incredible into the team. I do have to watch out for Ceruledge, as that's a massive threat. But overall, I don't think this is a bad combination. The Raichu is going to be a little bit annoying, but I think we bring our own Raichu. We have Lightning Rod, and that could be nice against my opponent's team. I think I bring Mousehold Lead with Gallade, and I think I bring Raichu. The question is, am I bringing Golden Go or am I bringing Weavile? I'm leaning towards Weavile, but I'm a little... Yeah, I think I lean towards Weavile, because Triple Axle is just crazy against this team. Also, just Weavile being a natural Shadow Sneak resist is pretty good, so it can help out against Ceruledge. Though I do have to watch out incredibly against the Ceruledge. I don't know who I'm Mega Evolving yet, actually, between the Gallade and the Raichu, because this might be a game where I could see regular Gallade actually putting in way more work here, and having Mega Raichu as a backup, because Mega Raichu is actually really strong against my opponent's team if I'm able to remove their Raichu quickly. Because look at their Zap Cannon switch-ins. Like, the only switch-ins to Zap Cannon are just weak to fighting and coverage, so... I think it is an option that I do have to be... that I can be flexible about. And I probably don't even Mega Evolve Gallade anyway for the first turn, so kind of curious on what they lead here. Because they don't have Fake Out other than Raichu, and if that's the case, I can always go for the Beat Up here, which would be really nice. I wonder if they have a Roar Veil on the Ninetales that they can go for. I wonder if this is an offensive team or if this is more defensive, but Milotic plus the Ninetales is fine as we lead Gallade plus the Mousehold, and I really feel like I just go for a Rock Slide Beat Up combination. Yeah, I like the idea of just Rock Slide Beat Up. Because I can get a flinch chance on the Milo. If this is Veil from the Ninetales, I kind of like having the Rock Slide because I get to break the Sash on the Ninetales, or I get two-shotted with like a Rock Slide into another Rock Slide. Super Fang in the Rock Slide is also looking pretty tempting. So yeah, feeling pretty good about this lead. So we will go for the beat-ups to get the Justified boost. I wonder if I even Mega Evolve and I just go for +6 instead. Because +6 against Veil will be very tremendous here. But let's see. Okay. They do go for Veil. So the Milotic is just going to be able to eat attacks very easily. Rock Slide does connect. Very, very good damage on the Ninetales. The Milotic, a little could be better, but we do get the flinch. As I said before, like the odds are in our favor here. So we can go for like Super Fang plus Rock Slide. We could go for Beta plus Drain Punch. I'm really a fan of Beta plus Drain Punch here, because like the Ninetales, though. Well, here's the thing. I could Mega Evolve the Gallade, which would be really good here. Or I could go for Super Fang Drain Punch as well. There's so many options that I have access to. I think I KO Milotic with the +6 Drain Punch, though, is the question. I think I just go for it. I'm going to go for a Beta plus Drain Punch. Let's see. This is probably Blizzard, I assume. But I like the idea of giving Gallade +6. I think +6 seems good. I also am not sure if Super Fang Rockslide actually KOs a Milo based on the damage. Probably not. Okay, they go for Encore into the mouse, which that's fine by me. I don't mind that. Okay. As we do get a Drain Punch off into the Milotic. Goodbye, Milotic. Jeez, that did so much damage. Okay, that is incredible. So Milotic goes down. I don't need to justify it on Gallade anymore. The question is, do I want to go with Raichu now or not? Yeah, this is a really good spot. I'm assuming the Milotic just tried to Coil the last turn. But as I said before, I can go for the Rock Slide to help cover that. Okay, Ceruledge in. I don't see a problem with going for Rock Slide with Gallade if I didn't misremember speed tiers here. And I think I go out into Raichu, which has the fast fake outs to pressure. Yeah, we're gonna go for Mega Evolution Rock Slide. Because we are faster than the Ninetales after Mega Evolving, and I don't think I need to Mega Evolve Raichu anymore in this game, so let's see. I'm also just going out into Raichu in case I miss a Rock Slide Ceruledge, and then they Bitter Blade my Maushold slot. Yeah, I do outspeed, I do get the Rock Slide, and it's Focus Sash on the Ceruledge, it looks like. Yeah, okay. Way more offensive than like the bulk up standard Ceruledge. Okay, we do get rid of the Ninetales, and what did they go for with the Ceruledge? Swords Dance, okay. Which I am completely okay with. I still have Maushold for redirection, and I have priority Shadow Sneak with Gallade. I don't think this was weak armor, if I'm not mistaken. Raichu comes out. It wasn't weak armor, right? Yeah, it's not weak armor. So I have a very safe line here, just going for a fake out into the Raichu and going for Shadow Sneak into the Ceruledge. The Raichu could Mega Evolve and get a faster fake out off, but I have Inner Focus with the Gallade, so Gallade's guaranteed to get its attack off here. So I don't really have to fear anything. So fake out's pretty safe into the Raichu. The Shadow Sneak will get the Ceruledge, and then we should be game, I think. So they do Mega Evolve the Raichu. And I wonder, sometimes they do forget that Gallade does get Inner Focus when it Mega Evolves, but they do fake out the Raichu. Okay, I think they were hoping to Shadow Sneak my Gallade, but I do have Shadow Sneak myself, so I can go for Shadow Sneak to outspeed the Ceruledge. Shadow Sneak, KO the Ceruledge. It's Raichu versus the entire team. I do not see them having a way to break through the own Raichu, as they do forfeit here, and we do take the win. So nice, Gallade putting in a solid amount of work there. All right, we have Charizard, Grimmsnarl, Pelipper, Archaludon, Venusaur, and Swampert. Interesting to see Swampert on this team because normally it's not dual Mega. So they probably bring Swampert. Swampert's pretty rough for this team. I'm not gonna lie, Swampert is one of the roughest Pokemon for this team, mainly because of the fact that Wave Crash deletes everything on this team besides Milo. And Milo doesn't really deal well into Archaludon or the Venusaur, so this is not going to be an easy one. Lead-wise, there's not really a super safe lead, I'd say. There's not a thing that covers Venusaur plus Charizard as well as the Swampert combination, so yeah, this is going to be an extremely difficult one. I'm thinking of leading Milotic lead immediately just to try and slow down the Swampert. I'm thinking Milo plus Maushold so I can take attacks better with the Milo, and then in the back I probably bring the Gallade. Then last Pokemon's a little bit tough. I think I need Golden Ghost so I can break through Arch guaranteed, but this is nowhere near simple. I think we bring the Gold. Let's see. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, here's the thing. I think Swampert does better in my team than Charizard, but Charizard's also pretty rough for my team. So I have to cover for two really rough matchups with this, and I don't know if I can really do it here. But okay, they go Charizard Venusaur. Interesting. Okay. Versus Maushold Milo. If they didn't bring Swampert, then I don't need Milo that much, realistically. Okay, then I think that's probably all right here. I need I would ideally like some damage here. I wonder if the Vena has a grass move, because sometimes they don't run a grass move on the Venusaurs, which actually would be really helpful here. I don't really have the best switches here, unfortunately. So I think I'm just going to go for a... I think I just go for damage. Like, Muddy Water puts the Charizard into range of Rock Slide guaranteed. I think I'm just going to go for Super Fang plus a Muddy Water, because they might just Sleep Powder the Milotic turn 1 or double it up, which is fine by me. We're going to see the Mega Evolution on Charizard, so the Venusaur is going to have Chlorophyll. Not too surprising. I don't think this is a terrible sequence line. It kind of depends on what's the bag. I could see our Charodon Pelipper be the final two. They sleep powder on a mouse, which is interesting. Okay. Maybe they're scared of Population Bomb, so I guess that's the reason why. Mousehold does burn a turn of sleep. I would have liked protecting, but okay. They do go for a Heat Wave immediately, which Mousehold is able to eat one. I don't think I was setting up Gallade in this game anyway, but Muddy Water is going to come out and do some okay respectable damage. It's not like the best damage, but it's not like terrible damage here. Okay. Accuracy drop on Charizard is though pretty nice. Okay. We do get the leftovers recovery on the Milo. Maybe I can use Milo to potentially sleep the Venusaur. So I guess I go for a Coil now with Milo since the Charizard's in range of the Rock Slide guaranteed, and probably just going for Sleep Powder on Milo. I'm just debating about like whether to try to attempt to protect the Mousehold or just go for a Super Fang. I think it's probably better to go for a Super Fang because I do need the damage on Venu. So yeah, I'm just going to Super Fang the Venusaur. Charizard going to retreat to reset the stats. Our Charodon? That makes sense. Okay. I'm perfectly happy with that. They go for Earth Power. Okay. I don't think this is too bad. I mean, it's still nowhere near great, but I think Goldingo can come in a comfortable spot. It's not Life Orb Venu, so it can't Sleep Powder my Goldingo, which is nice. So I can actually go for like a nasty plot situation plus Hypnosis, I think, into the Archaudon. I think I will go for that play. Yeah, I like that play a lot, actually. So we have one Coil up, so we have 80% Hypnosises. Not the best, not the worst. We're going to go for Hypnosis, we're going to go for Hypnosis into Archaudon, and we're going to set up a Nasty Plot. The reason I'm going to go for this play is because I could see either Venusaur switching to Pelipper for the Electroshot potential in Archaudon, or I could see them going for Sleep Powder, which is fine here because that means Arch can't do anything to my team because it really doesn't have much damage output. So I am going to go for a Nasty Plot here with the Goldingo. Okay, and now we are set up to KO our Charodon with Shadow Ball. The Electroshot, actually. Okay. That's really, really good for me, actually. The fact that they Electroshot is amazing because now they are trapped in and can't attack. They can't protect this turn. So Earth Power doesn't KO Gold. I can go for Hypnosis into the Venusaur slot, and I can just go for a Shadow Ball into the Archaudon slot. And Shadow Ball with Life Orb should KO the Archaudon, and a lot of Archaudons don't have much speed. I assume I KO here with Shadow Ball. And once, yeah, because we're going to see Venusaur switch out Pelipper. That's fine, because the Electroshard doesn't instant fire off this turn. We do wake up. We're guaranteed to get it. Well, unfortunately, we missed Hypnosis on Pelipper. That would have been a really nice Hypnosis because that's a dead slop, but let's see if we KO with Shadow Ball. We do KO with Shadow Ball into Arch, so it's still not a bad turn. That's still a pretty good turn for me, I'd say. My only concern is now it gets a little bit awkward because Charizard probably going to come in, get the Sun up, and now the Pelipper has access to Weather Ball. So Milo does live a Solar Beam unless the Pelipper has Helping Hand on this team, which is very unlikely. I'm going to go for Hypnosis in the Charizard. I'm just going to go for Protect with Goldingo. If they protect Charizard and go for Tailwind, good play on their part. Like, really good play on their part. I don't think I need Goldingo alive anymore. As, I mean, it would be nice to have because firing out the Shadow Balls is key, but it's not like I need it to win, right? So the only problem is dealing damage to the Venusaur, but the Venusaur might not be able to beat the Milotic 1v1 because I don't think it actually has a grass move. We will protect the Goldingo. They do have access to Fire type Weather Ball, which is a little bit concerning. Heat Wave coming out. Okay. If we land Hypnosis into Charizard, we're in really good shape. It's 80%. It's not even blind. It's 6. It's literally 80. Okay. Look, just hit this. Just hit this one, man. I did go for Coil, right? I'm like, I am +1 accuracy. I am +1 accuracy. I'm gonna go for Hypnosis and Double Protect. Double Protect is my best play here with gold because I can maybe accomplish. I don't know if they're gonna Solar Beam or not, but that shouldn't KO Milo. Maybe a double up can, since the Milo is not the bulkiest on this team, but we'll see. Missing on Pelipper was already bad enough. Missing on Charizard is just brutal here. Because even I still think we can win this, but now it comes down to how much Solar Beam plus Weather Ball does into Milo if they decide to target the Milo slot. But do they really want to risk the Golden Go attacking is also another good question. Okay, Golden Go fails to Double Protect. Did they go for Heat Wave? Okay. Heat Wave dodge is nice, although I think Weather Ball is coming out. Oh, they target a Milo with Weather Ball. Interesting. Okay. That's nice for me, actually. Okay, we actually land one onto the Charizard. That's a pretty nice land here. And I think I actually want to keep Golden Go around because it's my most reliable answer to Venusaur. This is the last turn of Tailwind, right? No, there's 2 turns of Tailwind. I'm trying to figure out what gives me the most reliable option. They Weather Ball the Golden Go here 100%. I think I just protect Hypnosis and I go for a 2-turn sleep. I think that's fine. Yeah. I think that's okay. And even if I don't get the 2-turn, I think if I get like 1 out of 2 turns, I'm okay here. Let's see. Weather Ball is into Golden Go. Perfect. Dude. Dude. Look, I know it's not the most accurate, but missing 3 out of 4, 80% Hypnosis is kind of insane. I do need to land a Hypno into Pelipper. I will actually just go for another Protect angle with the Golden Go and Hypnosis. Even if I fail it, it's fine. Charizard thankfully did stay asleep. If I land this one, it's good. And the reason I want to land this one is because I want to prevent the Pelipper from being able to click Wide Guard. So when my Gallade comes out, I can freely click Rock Slide into the Charizard and actually threaten it. So that's the reason why I've been trying to get this Hypnosis off into Pelipper for ages. We get the Hypnosis off into Pelipper. Oh my goodness. And now Gallade needs to connect attacks. So I'm going to go for Coil and a Rock Slide here because I don't think I need to recover at the current moment. And I want my Hypnosis to actually connect. So I'm going to go for Coil and I'm going to go for Rock Slide. Thankfully, this is the last turn of Sun, which is impactful. Although this means that Charizard can switch out and they did take a 2-turn sleep. So they would be guaranteed to wake up whenever they do get access to it. But there was a world where I did click Hypnosis into the Charizard and Rock Slide to cover for Venusaur switch. I wonder if that was better, but I think Coil, I think I want 100% accurate Coil or Hypnosis is with how it's been working out. This is a really good position for me because they actually went Venusaur here. And because they went Venusaur, they're going to be in an awkward spot. Okay. I like this. So we bring out the Gallade here. And they didn't protect. So Rock Slide going to come out, knock out the Charizard. Actually good damage to Venusaur. That's actually really good damage. And now we have the Milo that is also going to be able to get a second Coil up. So now our Hypnosis cannot miss. And because of this, Sun Phase doesn't matter. Pelipper's coming in, setting up the rain. Pelipper did not take a sleep turn, which is important. Because Pelipper didn't take a sleep turn, I can actually just click Rock Slide super safely here. Wait, oh, Pelipper? No, I was about to say, when did Pelipper wake up? Did I not get a Hypnosis off? I was like, there's no way. Because I saw the eyes open. Okay, we're going to go for... I'm actually going to go for Muddy Water because I think I like the damage here a bit better. Yeah, I like the damage. And I also get a flinch chance and Venusaur could protect this turn. I think I'm going to go for Rock Slide, Muddy Water. Yeah, because if they protect, I like getting this damage into Pelipper, which I think is actually kind of massive. So we will go for a Rock Slide. We'll get some chip into the Pelipper because we did connect. We cannot miss Muddy Waters, which is fortunate. Look at that good damage into Pelipper too. That's actually really good damage. And because I went for Muddy Water, now the Pelipper is threatened by the next combination. So this is pretty good. Okay, excellent. And what was the speed order? Okay, so my Milotic is faster than their Pelipper, which was pretty likely because they have to run Timid Pelipper to outspeed this Milotic. But it's actually kind of crucial here because now my Gallade is the fastest thing on the field. In order for a Pelipper to survive here, it needs to either A, dodge Rock Slide, B, go for Protect, or C, go for Wide Guard. Protect and Wide Guard are fine. They also have to wake up too, because if they don't wake up, they just lose. I'm going for Hypnosis into Venusaur to buy myself some turns, and I'm going for Rock Slide. Let's see. If Pelipper goes for Protect or Wide Guard, I can Hypnosis the Pelipper the next turn before it can attack. So no Wide Guard attempt. I do get a Rock Slide. I do KO the Pelipper, and then this should be game. So Pelipper goes down. The Venusaur is the last Pokemon on the field, but I don't think Venusaur can win by itself. It goes for Sleep Powder into my Gallade. Completely fine. Gallade will take a little bit of a well-deserved nap. It's landed the Rock Slides, and Milo will get a 100% accurate Hypnosis off into Venusaur. So that means that the Venusaur is also going to be taking some sleep turns alongside my Gallade, while my Milotic gets to fire off some Muddy Waters in the rain that are 100% accurate. So, oh, what a stressful game. But thankfully, no Swampert mode make things easier. And even though we missed attacks, we were able to get ourselves into a spot. All right, we have the Raichu, Staraptor, Metagross, Gengar, Grimmsnarl, and Tyranitar. I don't know what to say about this team. There's a lot of Pokemon that could be viable without a Mega Evolution. There are like so many. There's 5 potential Megas. And only like realistically 1 or 2 of them will be an actual Mega. Like Staraptor could be Scarf, Raichu could be like Focus Sash, the Gengar could be Focus Sash. The Metagross could be like whatever item it wants to. Tyranitar doesn't have to be. Man, there's so many potential options for my opponent here. Okay. What am I leading? Am I bringing Raichu because it's good into their Raichu, which is nice. Do I go for any beat up strats? It's kind of tough against this team. It is pretty tough against this team. Golden Go is very tempting because it is actually good into my opponent. A lot of things that I can consider here. I think I want to go... Man, this is tough. I'm not 100% certain. I think I do want to try to Mouse Hold plus Gallade. I think Mouse Hold plus Gallade's all right here. I want to bring... Maybe no Raichu. I think I'm going to go Weeball, Golden Go. I don't know if you're going to bring Raichu. I think Raichu is good into my team, but at the same time, it's like really hard to set up Raichu if you're not able to KO my own Raichu. So... I'm kind of curious if that's an option my opponent's going to bring. I just think that I'd rather go with like mods that are consistently good into my opponents. We're going to see Staraptor, Grimmsnarl. So this is actually kind of super... Well, it's not super ideal, but I think it's like okay. All right, we bring out Gallade plus our Mouse Hold here. I'm curious what kind of Staraptor this is. The problem is this could be fake tears. And if it's fake tears, that is pretty annoying to deal with. I think my best play is just to go for Protect with Mouse Hold and switch out a Gold. I wish I let Gold immediately, but I wasn't sure if Staraptor was going to be the Mega or not. And I guess Grimmsnarl with Screens and Fake Tears does make sense here. Okay, it is going to be Mega Staraptor. I don't think we're going to set up a Gallade scenario, but Gallade is still useful to help deal with the Tyranitar. Alright, we will protect our Mouse Hold. This covers Brave Bird or Close Combat into the Gallade slot. They go for Fake Out into the Gallade. That had Inner Focus, interesting, and Close Combat into the Mouse. Okay, that's actually pretty good for me. Because now I can go for Super Fang into a... Make It Rain? Yes. And I will go for it. They go for Parting Shot, which is fine, because Super Fang into Make It Rain should probably KO the Staraptor, I imagine. I think it should. So they go for Self-Parting Shot. Gengar going to come in. That's fine. I can't afford to miss that. How much does Make It Rain do? That's so bad. That's terrible. Well, that's a lose here probably, unless I crit the Staraptor or I get a Rock Slide flinch, I think. The Mouse Hold goes down, they get a boost. I do land to Make It Rain. Even though I didn't KO Staraptor, the fact that it was just like in Shadow Sneak or Rock Slide range was so crucial. Also, my Make It Rain was disabled, which is also terrible. This was like the worst. Well, I guess like it's not the worst turn because I could have double missed, I guess. But that's not a good turn. On the bright side, we can go Weavile here, and Weavile does have access to Triple Axle into the Staraptor. So I am gonna just fire off a Triple Axle into the Staraptor. Do I think I sack gold here. I don't really need gold too much anymore. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go for the KO into the Gengar. Oh, they stayed in, which is really good for me. Okay, Triple Axle. Wide Lens thankfully allowing us to hit our moves. We KO the Staraptor. That's huge. Did they Shadow Ball here? Probably, I imagine. Yeah, okay. I wonder if it was better to sack Gallade. Oh, wait, Gold survives is actually... Well, the thing is, I'm going down to life for recoil. So now Grimmsnarl is kind of a pain. I think this comes down to last mod. If this is Tyranitar, I feel pretty good. But if it's like anything else, I don't really... I mean, Metagross is playable, I suppose. I have knockoff. We'll find out what's the last. Raichu, Tyranitar, Metagross. Those are the options here. Raichu. It's playable. Okay. The problem is they have Fake Out, and it depends on the Grimmsnarl move. If it has Spear Break, this is really bad. If it's Foul Play, it's manageable. I feel like it should be Foul Play because I don't think their Basculegion matchup's amazing, but I'm not 100%. I don't have Quick Guard. I think we always just go for Triple Axle into the Raichu, and I think I always go for a Rock Slide because I can get a flinch chance here, and I think getting a flinch chance is massive, so I'm going to go for Triple Axle plus Rock Slide. Drain Punch doesn't knock out a Raichu anyway, so I'm pretty sure Rock Slide is the correct play that I have access to. Inner Focus on Gallade means he can't fake me out. They faked out the Gallade. They went for double Fake Out, but that's actually huge because I am able to get a free Rock Slide off. That did some really good damage in the Raichu, actually. Wow. Oh, I was about to say crit. Leftovers Grimmsnarl. Okay. I want to say my best play is to double up the Grim with Triple Axle Drain Punch. Because Raichu doesn't have the best offense, I think, against my team. So I think I always just go for a Drain Punch plus a Triple Axle. Also, Grimmsnarl is like less likely to carry Protect. I think if there's any Protect mod, it's probably the Raichu. Don't tell me that Grim has Protect, but I don't know what they'd be threatened of here. I think they kind of have to like try to Parting Shot the Gallade or something. We know it's Parting Shot Grim with Fake Out. That's all we know. We don't know their screens. They go for Scary Face, but it doesn't... Okay, they Scary Face my Weavile, Dark type. It wasn't changing the game realistically, but that helps out a lot. Drain Punch into the Grim. Does take the knockout. I think I beat the Raichu because I think the Raichu's in range of any attack here. Well, the thing is, I guess they could speed tie with my Gallade. They Volt Switch. Okay, they just didn't have any moves. Okay. I mean, even if they Scary Faced the Gallade, the game was over anyway, because if that was their best move to go for anything into Gallade, yeah, there was just nothing. I just want to make sure that if there was any attack on the Grim, it could be Spear Break. I need to get rid of that. Raichu kind of had to go for like maybe inaccurate moves or something. But I'm just shocked. I'm just shocked. I thought it was over after the Super Fang miss, but somehow pulled it off. Somehow pulled it off. Alright, we have Delphox, Eternaflute, Garchomp, Incineroar, Sinistra, and Farigiraf. Interesting to see Delphox and Farigiraf on the same team. So, I mean, it looks more like some setup balance with Sinistra, and then you have like the Delphox, Floa could be like Calm Mind, or maybe it's Light of Ruin. I could see Light of Ruin on this team as a burst mode. Let's see, how do I want to prepare against this? Because, I mean, matchup-wise, it's kind of fine. Milotic is pretty good against my opponent. I think Milotic plus Mousehold is not terrible here. I think I don't bring the Weavile. Weavile's not bad though. Triple Axe is really strong. But I think I like Mousehold, Gallade, and Golden Go. And I have some ideas of what I can do. Oh, what? Well, I am recording on hotspot. Please, please be fine. Please be fine. Okay, looks like we're fine. Cool. Unfortunately, my Wi-Fi's been down trying to record this video, so I have not had the best time. But yeah, Milotic plus Mousehold makes the most sense. It punishes instantly. Gallade plus Golden Go I think makes the most sense because I need Golden Go so I don't lose to Floette. And I think I do have some ideas that I can do with my Gallade. I think Milotic plus Mousehold, if they do decide, hey, I'm going to go for Fake Out into the Milotic, maybe set up with a nasty plot, gives me an opportunity. We're going to see Garchomp Delphox, okay. Versus Mousehold plus Milo. I don't mind this, I guess. I think I'm gonna go for Coil and Super Fang here. So I got like options. I can protect Mousehold and not take any damage, which is fine. I like the Coil because that means Milo's really not taking any damage from the Garchomp. And I really like the idea of just being able to Super Fang, get some chip into the Delphox immediately. So I think I'm gonna go for that. I'm kind of curious what they're gonna do here. I think Delphox is in an okay spot to click like Nasty Plot. I think if they Psychic, it's not terrible for me. Like, Milotic should be able to eat, especially with the Friend Guard. The only problem is that they target the mouse, but I think it's alright. Okay, they protect here. So I could have protected Mousehold, but I mean, Coil is still the best play here. Yeah, they go for Earthquake to get some chip. This is Life Orb Garchomp, or is it something else? Oh, it's Scarf Garchomp, okay. Because it outsped my Mousehold. Good to know. We do get a free Coil up. I don't think this is that bad. I think I'm just able to click Muddy Water pretty safely here, but obviously Protect would have been super ideal. But now my Milotic's in a pretty good spot where I can just spam Muddy Water. Or do I go for Hypnosis into the Delphox? 80% Hypnosis. I have gone for it before. I think it's actually my better play because the thing I'm worried about is if I protect Mousehold and they click Earthquake this turn, right? Milo takes some chip, Delphox could Nasty Plot, get to +2. It could get a little bit ugly afterward. I think I'm gonna attempt to Hypnosis to Delphox and protect. Because I don't want to have a boosted Delphox roaming around free. So I'm gonna protect Mousehold here. They go for Earthquake. The only way this goes bad, I think, is the Delphox has Encore. But if it has Encore, like, there's not much I could have done, I think, against this team then. Okay, they go for Psychic immediately. As you can see, I don't really take too much damage. And we do land a Hypnosis, which is really nice. Okay. Very solid Hypnosis hit. Now we can start spamming some Muddy Waters, or we can recover here. I kind of like the idea of Muddy Water first and then recover. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for Muddy Water plus Super Fang. Because I feel like I need the damage in the Delphox to put in range of a Shadow Sneak, which I think is important. Okay. I should live another attack with Milo, but this is starting to get concerning. I also could have went for Hypnosis into Garchomp, but like, I would try to avoid that as much as possible. Oh, that did nothing to Delphox, actually. Wow. Accuracy drop on Garchomp's good. Okay, that did way less than I thought, actually. I guess I have to go Gallade here, and I do want a Mega Evolve to be able to get my Inner Focus on deck. I think this is going to come down to, unfortunately, does Delphox stay asleep or not, but not much I can do. I don't think Drain Punch puts the Garchomp into range of anything, and there is a chance that the Garchomp does switch out, so I'm going to go for Rock Slide here and recover. I don't know if they're going to stay into Earthquake or if they're going to switch out the Garchomp into maybe like Sinistra. That's definitely a play they have access to. They do switch out, so this is perfect, actually. Yep, okay. Really nice because I am able... If the Delphox stays asleep, this is perfect because they are in range of the Rock Slide afterward. Or they are... I do get a Recover off with Milo, and that means I'm out of Psychic range. Let's see. I had to go for it, I think. They go for Psychic to KO the Milo, and because I don't have Friend Guard, the Milo goes down, and I will be able to get a Rock Slide off. I mean, this is still winnable. Yeah, that's good damage. Okay. I think here I need to hope that they don't expect a Shadow Sneak here. Because I think my play here is to go for Shadow Ball into the Sinistra and to go for a Shadow Sneak into the Delphox. I guess I could protect Rock Slide, and yeah, that's why they have a world where they can switch out. Oh, they went for Regrab. Okay, they got me there. I needed to protect Rock Slide. I thought about it, but I wasn't sure if that was right. I mean, a dodge is helpful, but it's like, I don't think, unless I get double dodge, I don't think it was changing much. I mean, Gallade does take it better, I guess. Yeah, the fact that they actually brought Farigiraf, but it does make sense. I do a double fake out. Is there anything I can do in this scenario? I was really hoping that they... I guess like the thing is if Sinistra was not going for Rage Powder, but the thing is I thought they would maybe try to switch into Garchomp. I could see Delphox protecting and Farigiraf trying to get attack off into Gallade. I think I make a call between that. I think I'm gonna go for a super aggressive play. I'm so far behind, I have to make some read in order to try and get this. I'm hoping Delphox protects. Okay, they go for Helping Hand. That makes sense too, because Helping Hand Heat Wave will also KO Gallade. So I think I need triple dodge. I need to dodge with Golden Gold, and I need to dodge with both next turn. Or maybe it just dodge with Gallade. Oh, they went for Psychic actually. Okay. Winnable? Winnable. Did they Helping Hand Heat Wave or did they Helping Hand... Okay. I think my best line here, I need to KO Farigiraf, because here's the thing. I could protect and Rock Slide and hope that they go for like Helping Hand Heat Wave and that Gallade magically survives. But my problem is that means they get a free switch to Garchomp. They can click Helping Hand Earthquake instead, and then I just lose on that. So I think I need a double knockout this turn. So I think I have to go for Make It Rain, and I'm going to attempt to go for a double protect. Okay, we do fail the double. We need a Heat Wave dodge to stay in it. Oh, they just protected, but I think that makes sense too. And they land Heat Wave, so the game's 100% over. I mean, Gold does survive, but the damage is nowhere near enough. We get burned, but yeah, I think this was just super rough. I'm trying to think of like, is there anything I could do other than hope for the 2-turn sleep? But at that point, I think I needed the 2-turn sleep. Also, they dodged Make It Rain, so like I don't even get a KO here. Was there anything? Like, Weavile doesn't help in this, and I think Raichu is just like, okay, there's a Scarf Garchomp. Like, I am not doing anything with that. So I think 4 Pokemon were right. And because Farigiraf ended up being super a nuisance here, because they actually have, like, priority blocking with the Delphox, it made it super rough. I think this was just not really winnable unless I read the Sinistra switching out into Farigiraf, maybe go for Rock Slide, but even then the game was already super far behind. I think I needed Delphox to take a 2-turn sleep with the Milo if I wanted any chance of winning. All right, we have Gengar, Incineroar, Politoed, King Gambit, Ninetales, and Oranguru. Why is the Oranguru on this team? I'm just trying to figure out why the Oranguru. Like, out of any Mon, why is Oranguru the Mon here? Golden Gold matches up well in the parish. There is the Gambit, which I do have to fear, but otherwise, Golden Gold also looks like a phenomenal lead. And I think I bring Gallade here because you do need Monster Pressure to Gambit, and then I think last Mon I'm just going to bring the Weavile because I like having the low kick pressure against the Gambit. I think a good question is whether the Gambit item is Chople on this team or is it Black Glasses, because I feel like Black Glasses makes a lot of sense since you always want to be able to threaten the KO on Basket Legion with Sucker Punch, or maybe like Life Orb on Gambit also works. But if it's Chople, it makes things a bit trickier, so let's see how this goes. What are you leading here? Gengar, King, Gambit. That makes sense. Because I lead Mousehold plus Golden Go. I imagine Gengar is just going to Mega Ball Protect and the Gambit's maybe going to kowtow. I think my best play is just to go for a beat up into the Golden Ghost slot and go into Gallade. Unless they Shadow Ball my gold turn 1, which is crazy, I think, against Follow Me Mouse, I think I'm fine. Also, they would probably Sludge Bomb if they go for anything here. But I think they probably just go for a Protect. I feel like there's no downside to Protect Kowtow. Or Sludge Bomb is fine. I don't mind Sludge Bomb here. Okay. So we do get the beat up off in the Gallade, which is important. Okay, so we do have the justified boosted Gallade here. I don't know if +4 Shadow Sneak will KO the Gengar, but that's a question we'll find out, I guess, a bit. If they Kowtow my Gallade slot, this gives me +5, which is helpful. Okay. I'm gonna follow me with Mouse, and I am gonna just go for a Shadow Sneak into the Gengar. I don't know. I don't think they expect a Shadow Sneak into Gengar unless they know the team. I like the idea of going for this Shadow Sneak into Gengar because Gambit, I think, could be very inclined to Protect because any fighting move would delete the Gambit, which would be very helpful here. So let's see if I can get this right. A good question is if it's Scarf on like Ninetales in the back, because if Ninetales is Scarf, that's going to be concerning for my Gallade. Okay, no Protects. I could have went for Drain Punch, and Drain Punch would have been better here, I think, but this is still alright. So here's a Shadow Sneak into the Gengar. Gengar goes down, so I no longer have to worry about like Perish Trap. Gengar eliminated. And they go for Kowtow Cleave into the Mousehold, which Mousehold goes down, but I think that is an acceptable trade here. Now we go out into Weavile. The question is heavily what the Gambit item is. Are you Chople? We know it's not Life Orb. I don't think it's Black Glasses though, so I think it's very decently likely of a chance to be Chople. Incineroar comes in. That's good for me. I'm not in Fake Out range from Incineroar, I'm pretty sure, with my Gallade. And I have Inner Focus, which means that they can't fake me out. I think I live Fake Out barely. Like, I want to say I live Fake Out barely. I'm going to go for Fake Out and Drain Punch. Okay, I feel pretty okay about this spot. I really don't think Fake Out KOs Gallade. They didn't have a Ghost type other than Gengar, so Drain Punch is just always a free play into the Incin. I guess they could Protect Incin. Protect Incin would be a good play here, like double Protect. But they could worry about Feint if they don't know the team from Weavile too. There's a lot to consider here. Okay, no Protect is really good. Fake Out in the Gambit. They went for Sucker Punch actually. And I do get Drain Punch off into Incin. We get a bunch of recovery back. So now we'll live a Sucker Punch. And this is massive. This is a massive recovery here. So goodbye Incineroar. Now we have to think about the following. Oranguru last. It's Oranguru last. Okay, does the Gambit have Protect? Because here's the thing, if I think they have to read a slot here. I think I go for Knockoff in the Oranguru to get rid of item, and the question is who do I Drain Punch? If I Drain Punch the Gambit, they can get Trick Room up. I think I go for the Drain Punch in the Gambit. They go for Sucker, okay, that's massive. If they Protect him for Trick Room, I could still play out of this game because I get the Knockoff in the Oranguru. Then I could go for like Low Kick and the Drain Punch, I think, into the Gambit, or I could call like which slot the Gambit's gonna target. While I think if I doubled into Oranguru and they Protect and then Gambit goes for like Sword Stance, I just lose. That's why I made this play. Because I think I still could win even if they go for Protect with Gambit. Well, I think if I double an Oranguru and they get Sword Stance up, I think I just lose. Like, I don't think I could win. Okay, we get Drain Punch off. They go for Psychic. Nowhere near enough. And we are able to win this one. Gallade came in clutch this one. Gallade came in clutch. Alright, we have Frostlass, King Gambit, Basket Legion, Sneasler, Scovillain, and Lycanroc. It is that Lycanroc team that we saw, but has dropped off quite a bit. Okay, I wonder if there's any set changes. Because Life Orb is now a thing. Life Orb Bass could make a lot of sense, or it could just be Life Orb Gambit. I think combination-wise, Weavile is a pretty dang good lead here for the most part. Like, I don't see anything wrong with either Weavile, Golden Go. I could see Mousehold leading as well, because I could do Gallade stuff. So, yeah, there's a lot I can do. I think I'm going to do Weavile, Golden Go. I think Weavile, Golden Go makes a lot of sense here. With Gallade and Mousehold back. I could try to set up the Gallade, but the problem is it's pretty tricky against Frostlass. That could spam Blizzard. I also think that Scovillain's really tough for this team. So, yeah, now that I think about it, my Scovillain matchup. The thing is, I can't beat up as they Rage Powder and redirects the attacks from Mousehold. Yeah, how? I might have to sacrifice a lot to beat Scovillain. It is Scovillain Gambit, okay? So I lead Weavile plus the Golden Go here. I think it's very likely that you are going to... Okay, I'm going to make a very aggressive play. I'm going to protect the Golden Go and low kick the Gambit because I think they are likely not to Rage Powder here on the fake out potential from the Weavile. I think the Gambit probably wants to attack, but maybe it protects too. I think that's fair play. But what I'm hoping is I can get a sneaky low kick off into Gambit when they least expect it. They Rage Powdered. What if I just fake out Gambit plot? That's why I was like, I think I could get a sneaky attack off. Oh, that's so bad. Okay. At least they kowtowed and not Swords Dance here. I'm just gonna double up the Scovillain. I have to get rid of Scovillain, like literally. Otherwise, I just lose. Luckily, there's no Frostlass I have to deal with. Life Orb Shadow Ball should do a lot. So I just need to get rid of Scovillain ASAP because that Pokemon is just way too problematic if it burns my Gallade. And I missed by Wide Lens Triple Axle. That might be better for me if they go for Kowtow. Yeah, this might be better for me. Unless they Swords Dance. If they Swords Dance, it was way worse. Okay. So Golden Go gonna go down, which obviously could have been prevented. But right now, don't think this is the worst. They are Life Orb. We're gonna go in a Gallade here. And we're gonna click Drain Punch into the King Gambit, and we're gonna click Triple Axle into Scovillain. I would love to try and cover switches, but I just realistically don't think I can try to cover switches here. So we're going for Triple Axle. We're gonna go for a Drain Punch. Speed order is Weavile. Weavile should KO the Scovillain, assuming we don't miss another Triple Axle if we landed 3 hits. Then Drain Punch goes off into King Gambit. I think Basculation can easily switch in for either of the slots, but I can't really punish it here because knockoff, if the Scovillain attacks, I just lose. Is this the Basculation? That makes sense. Okay. Good protect play on my opponent's part. I couldn't really punish that. My problem is Scovillain can easily retreat to Gambit, and I can't do much about it. But I think they just spam Rage Powder, and I think they're going to Wave Crash a slot. So I'm just going to Triple Axle, and I'm going to go for Protect. I think this is like my only hope right now. Yeah, I mean, it was just a really bad couple of turns. This is where the one problem with like Scovillain surviving is, yeah, I'm not surprised that they go Gambit here. Yeah. Because like I'm not going to knock off that slot. It's mainly because I missed the Triple Axles where I couldn't threaten the knockoff into the Scovillain because knockoff could have threatened the KO. They protect Bask, which is interesting. Okay. I wonder if I could threaten the KO on the Bask, but the Basket Legion's really bulky if I remember right on this team. I can knock off the Bask. I feel like Gambit's probably going to try to switch in for Scovillain and try to get the burn. Knockoff is doing nowhere near enough to the Basket Legion. Do I just try to go for a Rock Slide and maybe hope that Gallade can clean up the end game? Maybe. What do I think was last mon? I think it's probably Sneasler. That's a problem. I can't really beat Sneasler with burned Gallade. I think I Shadow Sneak knockoff. I think Gambit should switch out to Scovillain. Yep, they tried to catch me on the burn. The reason is I felt like this was likely, and the reason I'm doing this is because I think they might target down my Weavile slot with the Basket Legion. Maybe Mega Evolving was correct. I wanted to save to justify it as much as possible, but knockoff. If I Mega Evolve, did I KO this Basket Legion? I don't know if that was 14 extra %. Oh, they last respect. It's over. I was hoping if they're going to go for Scovillain, I was hoping they would target down the Weavile and get rid of the Weavile, leaving Gallade alone. So if I protect knockoff, that might have been an option. I still don't know how I would break through the Sneasler. That's my only issue. I guess burn triple Axle would probably do an okay amount, but now I do not think I could win. I mean, the way I win is it beat up KOs the Basket Legion. It beat up KOs the Basket Legion. I think this might have been winnable though. Missing the triple Axle on the Scovillain did stink, but I think there were probably ways. I just wonder if the Shadow Sneak does 14 extra %, but I just don't think the attack boost does it. I don't think it changes it. I really don't. Also a good play on their part to go for the Protect with Scovillain because they're trying, like if I did KO the Basket Legion here, they get a free switch to Gambit. Yeah, I only get one hit with beat up, so like this is over. Yeah, I can't do anything. A tough one. I think I definitely could have played it a bit better though. Like I really didn't expect them to Rage Powder turn 1. I was hoping that they would just either attack aggressively with the Scovillain. So I thought Scovillain was in a really great spot, and I really didn't think they were gonna go for that. Like a fake out into Gambit would have been massive, but and like setup with or Shadow Ball, but yeah, that was not a turn I think I could really play aggressive, unfortunately. So how was the team? I don't think it's the strongest team, but I do think that there were many things that I could have probably utilized a bit better. I think in that last game, for example, I think now looking back at it, Raichu was definitely a lot stronger than the Weavile because it would have gave me a special attacker, would have been giving me a one shot into the King Gambit as well as the Basket Legion. And I think I kind of pushed a bit too hard to try and use Mega Gallade in a matchup where I don't think Mega Gallade, while it could put in a bit of work, I think it was just better to have the Raichu because if it's not Scarf Basket Legion change, I think just having the access to regular justified Gallade would have been fine to deal with the King Gambit, and I think Raichu could have put in a lot of work. So I think that's one tool that I should have been able to utilize a little bit better in this, but I do think that Mega Gallade, yeah, there's a reason why we don't use it. I think Sneasler does provide a lot of roles, and there's probably a bit better fighting types out there, but it was able to still put in work, especially with that mouse hold. Granted, it wasn't the easiest exactly Pokemon to be able to set up because of how frail the Pokemon is. However, I think it was able to do some stuff. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.